on, everyone? It's Monday night. It's 9:30. It's time for Bridgeside Sports Live. Thanks for being here. I'm your host, Phil Cagliostro. And to my left, we have the returning Alan Colombano.
I am back.
Freshly married.
Back.
Great wedding. Great time.
Put a ring on it, baby.
He had to take off an entire week. It was such a good time.
No, 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
2 weeks. I'm sorry. Whoa. Next to him, we got Mike Bukowski. How's everything going over there, Mike?
Very good.
And, of course, we have at the end, Chris, the analyst of Venture.
What's up, people?
With his highlighter hat going on with the red thing. And then we got, as always, producer behind the scenes, Donnie Boss. We got a little camera shot on him. A little point in the gun.
That hat is
fire.
That hat is fire.
He's got a red hat too, but it's a little more regular. But anyway, we're
nice
going to get
hat.
right into it. We're going to get right into Sports in 10. We got a lot to talk about today, as always. So we're going to, Mike gave it the sign. We're going to wait for the
I was
sign.
hoping the sound
Well, we're going to wait for the play ball. There it is, the play ball.
Ding.
Let's go 10 seconds. We're going to go right into the World Series. Chris, I'm going to start with you. We got all these record-breaking home runs. We got a great World Series going.
Yeah.
What do you think of all these record-breaking home runs? I just wanted to say, Tom Verducci came out, said that Verlander, a lot of pitchers saying the ball was a lot slipperier. Was very slippery. There we go.
Yeah.
It was very slippery compared to other times. They can't throw curveballs. Anything about that?
You think it's that?
I don't know.
I think it could also be. I heard stories during the regular season that the balls wound up tighter, or maybe it's the launch angle that everybody's doing these days because they are striking out more too.
Yeah.
Probably all those facts. I mean, I don't know about the slickness thing.
It was
but
the actual World Series ball.
Yeah, I know, but
specific to the World Series.
so but who knows if that's what they've been using all season? Like you don't really know if that's the case for the whole season.
I have a couple stats about the home runs. You had 22 home runs in the World Series so far. That's the most of all time. It's been 5 games. You had last game, the Astros had 5 different players hit home runs. That's a record.
That was crazy.
Kershaw's given up 8 home runs in the playoffs this year. The best pitcher in baseball. That's the most of all time.
Wow.
And you had the Astros hit 3 3-run home runs yesterday.
I gotta finally admit
That's mind-boggling.
Okay, that's
Wait, there's something groundbreaking that's about to happen.
I gotta
know what he's
finally
gonna
admit
say.
that Kershaw is not doing. I mean, what's going on with the
Yes.
playoffs? I guess he's just not a good playoff pitcher. I have
you
to
go.
admit that.
I had to bring it. So now you said it's mind-boggling, but now do all those home runs lead into? Is this the most exciting World Series of all time?
I mean, it's up there. I mean, it's got to go, right at the top. However, I think when you talk greatest World Series, you always think of that clinching game.
Yeah.
So if it comes down to a Game 6 or a Game 7, obviously Game 6, but if it comes to a Game 7 late in the game where you get a big hero like last year's World Series was, then I think it might go down as the greatest ever because these first 5 games have been unbelievable.
I still think 2001 was the greatest ever.
Right. And because you had amazing games
And it was
an
pitching.
an unbelievable Game 7.
I agree. It's got to go 7 for it to be the best World Series of all time. It has to be. It doesn't matter how good the first 5 games are. If
Right.
it ends in 6, I don't think it can be the best.
Okay.
Right.
I'm glad you said, Mike. Who do you think is it? Will it go 7?
It just seems like it should the way it's gone, but I don't know if after that, coming back and then still blowing the game, I don't know if the Dodgers can win Game 6. Plus, it's Verlander versus Rich Hill, so the pitching matchup has to be a little bit in Houston's favor.
Right.
I actually think Houston's going to close it out in 6.
Okay. That's quickly. I'll just say they should start Darvish Game 2. I don't know why Hill went Game 2, but anyway.
Yeah.
Hill's been better
I
than
know,
most people
but
think, but I mean,
They pull him. I mean, he gets pulled early, but the Dodgers do that in general.
well,
They
yeah,
pull
look at
people way too
Kershaw
early.
yesterday. That's
I know.
ridiculous.
He's a better home pitcher.
Me and Donnie said Dodgers in 5. That's long.
I
gone.
said Houston
Yeah.
7, but
I believe
The
Mike
only
just
one
that's
also
going out
mentioned
there.
Dodgers.
Could be.
so
Yeah.
on the off day of the World Series, we actually did have some big news, especially here in New York. But the Yankees are everywhere. The Yankees and Girardi decided not to. The Yankees decided to let Girardi go, essentially, not renew his contract. So, Win, I'm going to ask you.
Yeah.
You think the Yankees made the right move?
No, not at all. Girardi's been the manager for 9-10 years, whatever it's been, and there have
10.
been so many times where, no, I shouldn't say so many times, there have been other seasons where you could have argued that maybe they should move on. This is the one year that they should have not moved on. They had a lot of young guys. They overachieved. They were 1 game from the World Series. If there's a time you keep Girardi, now's the time.
That
Because
makes
his-
sense.
Because his players, they're young, they respect him.
I
The
don't know.
A-Rods, the McCanns, all the veteran guys that he played with pretty much are all gone. Now it's all young guys looking at him as the Yankees manager. I think it's a bad move.
I agree with that, and I'm going to go right to you with a question. But you said it makes sense, and I think it seemed like the whole team rallied around Girardi after the postseason, after his flub in Game 2.
Right.
Why do you think they decided this year is the year they're going to move on from him?
That's what I'm saying. It makes
Yeah.
sense what when saying is like they did the best pretty much besides 2009 World Series. the best they've ever done under Girardi, and then they're going to let him go. But at the same time, I don't think Girardi's that great of a man. I just don't think he's that good. I don't think he's that great of a manager, and he messed up that game, and they rallied behind him because you know what? The players are going to do that for their manager, any manager, whoever it is. So they did it for him, I guess you could say, but they did it for themselves too. And Girardi could have easily messed that up, and they could have been out in that series right there. Yeah. And then we'd be talking a whole different story here.
So they moved on from Girardi, Mike. Where do you think they go next?
All right, well, where do I want them to go, and where do I think they're going to go? They already said that.
Dusty.
They already said that they're thinking about doing something in-house. The in-house options aren't too sexy.
No.
If you're going in-house, out of the guys that are there, I mean, they talk about the AAA guy is a good option. Pena, I think, is the one guy. He's had some coaching experience. He won Manager of the Year over 10 years ago. I wouldn't mind him. Outside of coaching right now, I mean, I like Mattingly. If they cut ties with Mattingly in Miami, I always wanted to see Mattingly. I wanted to see him become manager before Girardi.
Yeah.
So and he's been pretty good as a manager. So I wouldn't mind seeing him. Or of course, I would not mind seeing A-Rod.
I love it, A-Rod.
I mean, I would like it.
I agree with you 100%.
Well, I know.
Man.
No.
What do we know? What do we know about him?
We know that players love him. And
Everything. We know
I'll try
everything.
to make it. Players love him, and the Yankees, they're built now with the sabermetrics and all that. But that's the way they're built now. They want their numbers to go through the manager. They don't want the manager. They don't need the manager to have that much experience. They want more the players to love him, to respond.
Players manager
could be a computer. Could be a venture bot.
Exactly.
Oh my God! Come on.
A-Rod, I like it. A-Rod, dark horse. Chris is shaming us, but we're gonna go A-Rod. I like A-Rod being the last word. We're gonna move on, and we'll kick it to the NBA. We had the NBA. I'm sorry, we're kicking it to the NFL. I apologize. We're going NFL Week 8,
Which
this
was
just came.
Yeah.
Chris, Deshaun Watson looked unbelievable.
Sick.
He almost beat New England and Seattle on the road now.
Mm-hmm.
How good could this How
He's
good could this
unbelievable.
kid be? Yeah.
I mean, me and you loved him before.
We
the
did.
season.
A lot of us talked about it.
But I didn't think he was going to do that for Seattle. He's like matchup proof at this point in fantasy. And I mean, he's putting up better numbers than anybody. Right now, I think he's in fantasy like the number 2 quarterback, points per game behind Dak Prescott. Yeah. So, I mean, he's done that in less time than everybody else. So it's like, this guy's unbelievable.
Mike said that Sherman said it was the best game of quarterbacks ever played against Seattle.
I mean, he threw 3 picks, but I mean, he's clutch.
Yeah.
I feel like he's ready. He's like the guy's seasoned. Like, you know what I mean?
He's a winner.
Yeah.
So, Mike, midway through the season, we're now. Who's your favorite coming out of the NFC?
I mean, the NFC's tough. I think the best record is the Eagles right now. I still can't completely get behind them. They keep making me look like a fool when I keep picking against them in the pick'em show, and they keep just destroying me. But I still think it's so. To answer that question, I need to know if Zeke is going to be suspended or not. Because if he's not,
today?
I think the No, we didn't find out today.
Yeah.
Because if he's not, I think the Cowboys are probably the best team in the NFC.
So you got the Cowboys as dark horse.
Yeah.
Which I hate to say, but
So no Elliott. Who are you going to go with then?
I like the Seahawks a lot. The defense isn't as good as it has been, but they're still a good team.
Yeah.
I like the Seahawks. I think they're probably the class other than Dallas.
Win. Same question. AFC.
I mean, I've said this many times. I mean, why do we even pick the AFC when we know the Patriots can be here?
All right, so it's the Patriots. Defense is looking better. They played the Chargers well.
I mean, give it time. Belichick always figures out a way. They'll be 12-4.
He does always figure out a way.
Well, that's boring. Now we're actually going to move on to the NBA. But it's true, but it's boring. It's true and boring.
Speaking of boring, let's talk about NBA.
Come on, man. You cut me. But we're going to go to the NBA. The Knicks, they got a real up and down game today. But, Mike, Porzingis is looking really good to start the season.
Yeah.
Are you getting more confidence that the Knicks can actually build a team around him?
Yeah, he actually looking like he might be a complete superstar, which is everything that you were hoping to see this year. You wanted to see him take a lot more shots. He's leading the league in shots per game right now, which is exactly what you want to see.
Yeah.
So, and he's putting up numbers. He's the best player on the team. He should be shooting the ball anytime he has a decent look. The team looks better without Carmelo holding the ball.
A shock.
Best ball movement I've seen in years from them.
Yeah, because you don't have a black hole cutting the
I will watch them more this year than last year.
Yeah.
I will say that.
And win. So the Knicks, one of their wins, they beat the Cavs. The Cavs also lost to the Nets.
Yeah.
Is there any sign of concern for the Cavs you would have this early on?
No.
Do you see anything? Maybe they're not gelling? Or?
I think it's a little early. You still have probably the best player in the game in LeBron, so I wouldn't worry too much about that.
Yeah.
I know it's 4 games they lost. I think it's the first time LeBron has, since his rookie year, has ever lost 4 consecutive games to teams that didn't make the playoffs the year before.
That's actually unbelievable.
Right, either 3 or 4. I forgot the stat. But with that being said, there could be a little worry, but I think it's too early in the year to actually take it too seriously.
I think it is a little surprising they lost to the Nets and the Knicks. So, Chris, what is the most surprising team in the NBA so far, though?
To play off that, I think, like you said, everything's a little too early right now. But right now, I mean, me and him were talking about this before. The Pistons are 5-2. I know they're not good. I don't think they're gonna be good. I don't believe in them. Don't worry, I don't believe in them. They are 5-2, and they're leading the East. They're a fake 5, but the East is so weak. I don't know. Honestly, I look at the West.
So you don't believe in your most surprising team?
The West, no, but. Honestly, if you look at the West, I don't think anybody's surprising. I don't think the Clippers.
Shame.
I don't think this is surprising. Shame. But I don't think the Clippers are that surprising. I think they're still a pretty decent team. So for them to be 4-1 isn't that surprising to me. I don't know.
Oh, I was about to ask a question about the Islanders, but we ran out of time. I'm sorry.
Don't play with my
I was about to ask about Tavares, but
6-3 win
just missed time. I thought
over the Golden Knights.
Anyway, that's
a team from Vegas. In case you didn't know.
That's Sports in 10, guys. Maybe next week we'll have time for the Islanders. I'm not promising anything, but maybe the Islanders. But anyway, we're gonna go into our Are You Kidding Me? We have our Are You Kidding Me coming straight from Nick Tulo from Brooklyn, New York. It's NBA related, so I know you guys are gonna be ecstatic about it.
Oh, love it. Love me some NBA.
Nick says that in the playoffs, if the Spurs face the Warriors in Game 7, in a 7-game series, the Spurs will blow out the Warriors.
Wait, what? And specifically in a Game 7?
No, in a 7-game series. I apologize about that.
In the
7-game series.
So if
any
they
series,
play them in the playoffs,
if they play them in the
blow
playoffs, the Spurs are going to blow out
When's
the Warriors.
When's the last time they played each other in the playoffs?
Last year.
Last year.
And they were
Leonard got hurt.
Hold on. They were blowing them out in Game 1, and Leonard got hurt. And then Leonard didn't play the rest of the series, so they got swept. And they were winning by like 25 in Game 1. And then the Warriors just took off.
Game 2.
How do you guys feel about it?
San Antonio's 4-2 without Leonard.
There's the 3 minutes. There we go.
Right? San Antonio's 4-2 without Leonard right now. Leonard hasn't played a game. So I think it's possible with Pop. Why not? He can't beat them?
Is Popovich now Belichick in the NBA?
Just whoever's on his team.
Like whoever's on his team is just good. Like they buy into the system and they're just good.
Yeah, and he never really has Leonard's a superstar now, but Duncan was a superstar. But I'm saying it's not like it's not like his team's like super stacked all the time. Sometimes he just
great
system.
Role players.
Yeah.
That fill-in. I don't think that to say dominate the Warriors blow out. I mean, that's a little much.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, they did play very well the first 2 games until they didn't.
No, Leonard got hurt in Game 1.
Yeah.
Was Game 1?
Yeah.
All right, so Game 1. But they were up Game 2, weren't they also?
They might have been up Game 2, but they lost the game.
Regardless, I don't think you can say that anybody can blow out the Warriors in a 7-game series.
I'd have to agree with you.
You know, I mean, just look at the lineup. It's silly. I mean, we saw what happened last year against Cleveland, who is the best team in the East and was the best team last year.
I actually think right now to say that anyone will just beat the Warriors is an "Are you kidding me?" Let alone that they're going to just blow them out.
Right.
Well, I mean, look. Do you think San Antonio is the second best team in the West?
No.
Who do you think is? Oklahoma City?
I'm having a hard time coming to grips with this one.
I like the Rockets.
I don't like the Rockets. I really don't.
They have no D.
I think the Thunder are going to come together.
I don't think Harden is like. I don't think Harden will ever win a championship. I just feel like he's that kind of player.
That guy.
Yeah, I just feel like he's kind of a selfish player.
Well, I mean,
I don't know.
He had about 9 to 10 assists last year.
Yeah, but he touches the ball every single time down the floor.
Well, that's their offense. That's Dan Antonio.
D'Antonio?
What did I just say? D'Antonio?
D'Antonio.
Excuse me.
He got even more talent.
I don't know. I like OKC more than them, but I still don't think that they could beat them in a series. The Spurs actually
might
have the best shot.
They might have the best shot. I think that they would probably play them better.
Second round.
Saw last year.
It won't be conference finals. It'll be like semifinals.
Yeah, most likely because San Antonio probably won't be the 2 seed.
The 4 seed.
Well,
Pop doesn't care about seeding.
Yeah.
Pop doesn't care about seeding.
Well, they're supposed to. They changed this now, so he's not supposed to be resting players this year, right? Is he going to get fined if he does that?
Unless he says that they hurt a hamstring.
Yeah.
So you can just lie about it.
He's going to lie.
It's a joke.
No, the way to get fined is if you rest a player on the road at a national game.
Oh, so
So
what the hell kind of rule is that?
It's the NBA trying to.
A lot of games are national.
The NBA sucks. If the Islanders play the Golden Knights in the
my
Stanley
God,
Cup,
the
they will
Islanders.
blow them out.
That should be an "Are you kidding me?" Are
You
the
heard me here
Islanders going to
first.
play the Golden Knights in?
Is
if
anyone
you don't
gonna
want
get
to talk, if you don't want to put it into the show,
Are you-
I'm going to put it into the
Are
show.
you kidding me? Are you kidding me? 10 people care about the Islanders facing the Golden Knights.
Probably right about that.
The Islanders will blow out the Spurs. I'd love to see Tim Dunk on ice skates. That'd be awesome.
That should have been a swim.
At a time. Well, yeah. I just got dung.
Warriors
I
are
got ding.
only 4-3, by the way, right?
Yep, 4-3, and
So
the
they had
Cavs.
a rough start,
Right now,
so.
the Cavs would not make the playoffs.
They end up 62 and 66 and 16.
But all right, that's Are You Kidding Me? Thank you,
Basketball
Nick.
stinks.
Thank you for sending it out to us, guys. And all the listeners out there, you can send it. Are You Kidding Me? We'll debate it, and as Win always says, we'll tell you we gotta get your head examined. But anyway, we're gonna go to Bridgeside Live Trivia. I don't know what's going on here, so I'm gonna kick it to Donnie right now.
Nobody really does.
Okay, we're gonna play around. We're gonna play around of fast sports. I have 20 random sports questions. I'm gonna have 5 for each of you. You're gonna get 30 seconds to answer them. If you can't answer the question, you say pass. I'll go to the next question. You have 30 seconds
So
to answer
exactly,
5 correct.
exactly
Family
my
Feud.
idea from last
I did
week.
steal your idea, which you
I'm
in
glad,
turn stole
no.
from Family Feud.
Yes, we have 30 seconds for all 5 questions.
That is correct.
Okay, thank you.
So it's going to start off with Phil this week.
He's the trivia king, by the way.
And
Go ahead.
I haven't been here.
the questions do vary in difficulty, and you'll just have to deal with that. So we're
like
going we're to start with Phil.
Let's do it.
Give me 30 seconds. Paul.
This is you're Steve Harvey.
You need a big mustache.
Okay. Phil, we're going to start with this. Who was the 2016 World Series MVP?
Pass.
Who is second on the NBA all-time scoring list?
Karl Malone.
Correct. Who is the player that the NBA logo was modeled after?
Jerry West.
Correct. Jim Leland won the World Series with which team?
The Marlins.
Correct. Year that Randy Moss broke the receiving touchdown record.
2007.
That's correct.
2016 World Series
4 to
MVP.
5.
I can't think of last year. All right.
Ben Zobrist.
All right.
4 out of 5.
Wow.
Not a bad showing.
I mean,
Might as well
he should have
pack
went
it in.
last, really.
Why I couldn't think of the Cubs
So we
winning the
would've felt
World
like we had-
I couldn't think of
Beyond
it
me.
either. The whole 30 seconds. Who's in the World Series last year? My mind went blank.
Yeah, well, I do have to mix them up in difficulty, as I
That's
mentioned.
fine.
Okay.
All right, we're going to go over to Win Columbano.
All right, let's go.
Okay. Paul, I need 30 fresh.
30 fresh.
Oh, we still got zeros. Triple zeros. All right, we got quadruple zeros. Win. That means you're just moving on past them.
believe this guy-
All right, we can set a
Gonna
timer.
need the 30.
There we are.
Thank you very much. All right, Win, we're going to start with this. What year was Super Bowl I played?
62. 61.
Wrong.
60. 60.
He can't keep guessing.
Not
Go
correct.
ahead.
How many guesses
come
did
on,
you
come
get?
on.
Most recent player in the 3,000 hit club.
Pass.
NBA all-time assist leader.
Stockton.
Correct. Golfer with most career major championships.
Nicholas.
Correct. Only football team owned by shareholders and not an
Packers.
ownership group. Correct.
3 to 5.
3
I
out of
screwed up my
5.
first question.
The answer, most recent in the 3,000 hit club, Adrian Beltre this year.
And 1967
Wow.
Super Bowl, right?
1967 Super Bowl I.
I should have got that. Why did I think
I believe you should have.
Why did I think the Jets won in 63?
Those were championships, and
I
that was
don't know.
69.
69.
I know. Super
Uh-huh.
Bowl
Okay, we're going to go over to Boo.
This is like the most
Give me
nervous I've been
30
in a long
fresh
time.
seconds.
I'm going to get crushed.
This
Yeah.
is mad fun. I want to do it again.
Okay, Boo, we're going to start with this. Who is the NFL rushing TD and a season record holder?
Terrell Davis.
It's one.
Wait. All right, keep going. Next.
Who's second on the all-time strikeout list career?
Randy Johnson.
Correct. What year? What was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's name when he entered the NBA?
What the hell's his name? Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Next.
Who was the all-time steals leader in the NBA?
Elgin Baylor.
No.
Okay. John
The
Stockton.
first one was
Alcindor.
Lou
rushing.
Alcindor.
Rushing.
LaDainian Tomlinson.
Correct.
Yeah,
Lou
I thought of that
Alcindor
after.
And John Stockton. You got to get that
Stockton.
all-time
I
I
steals
thought
leader.
Stockton was already used.
I would have
before
went 5 for
next.
5.
That's
if I
why I
lose
gave you the
question.
question.
I'm probably
I
at
got
0
one.
here. Ronald Reagan.
We're going to go over to
Ronald
Ventura. Here we go. Give me 30 fresh.
I love the 30 fresh.
Reagan.
All right, Chris, we're going to start with this. Quarterback with the most Super Bowl rings.
Terry Bradshaw.
I hate you.
No.
Tom Brady.
Correct. MLB player with the
Animals.
highest career batting average.
Ted Williams.
Nope.
Tony Gwynn?
Nope.
I don't know, Skip.
How many World Series did the Dodgers win in the 1980s?
2?
Correct. Shortest player ever to play in the NBA.
Muggsy Bogues.
Correct.
Wow.
Didn't get to it.
Ty Cobb.
It was Ty Cobb, and the last question was by TV ratings, the second most popular sport in the world. Does anybody know it?
Soccer?
Cricket.
It's cricket. You have
Cricket.
it.
I was going to say that.
Okay.
I would've got 4 out of 5.
India versus Turkey, remember?
Phil Cagliostro is our
that?
trivia
Wait,
champion
I
this
didn't,
week.
Repeat?
I didn't even get a chance for my last
Yeah, because you
question.
didn't get
Went
shit
too
right.
slow.
No, I got 3 out of 4.
You didn't get it fast enough.
All
That's the
right,
point.
whatever.
Oh, all right.
Let's move on. I'm
We're going to
depressed.
move it on.
We're moving on. All right, guys.
I want to keep playing that.
That was Donnie. That was a great formula, guys. I liked it a lot. But we're
job,
moving
Don.
on. I
Good
won
job, Don.
again. Let's keep going. But we got question of the week. So Donnie actually just mentioned popular sports in the world. He said the number 2 popular sport is cricket.
Yep.
The number 1 popular sport is soccer. So the World Cup's coming up in 2 years, I believe. And the U.S. has failed to eliminate. This is the first time the U.S. is
Qualify.
not going to be. I'm sorry, I apologize.
Failed to eliminate.
You're right. They've been eliminated from qualification. You're right. They failed to qualify. First time since 1986. So, guys, I want to ask, do you guys think that anyone in the USA will really be watching now that their team is not in the World Cup?
Who's going? I'll
Well,
go.
Chris.
So I think there will be a lot of people still watching because I think the World Cup is just a huge event. It's not going to be as much as if
Do you think it
United
will
States
hurt?
was in.
Do you think it will hurt?
It will hurt a little bit, yes. It's going to hurt a little bit. But people love soccer now in the United States more than ever. So I think that it's going to be still popular. It's still going to be watched everywhere you go.
The only thing I'll ask you about the more than ever. Nobody wants soccer at all. So the more than ever
Right.
argument, it's like okay, if
Well, it's
5
grown.
people watch it, it's more than ever. You know what I mean? Like I still don't think it's that popular.
Well,
in
it's
the
grown
US.
a lot in the last 10, 15 years.
I think
don't-
I think it's going to get hit. It has
think
to.
it's
gonna get
It
hit.
has
lot.
to get hurt
I
because for
agree.
the simple fact that you have people who don't watch soccer who typically watch soccer because they're just maybe patriotic people, like rooting for their country,
Right.
and it's something people like competition. That's why the Olympics do so well every year, every 2 years. So with that being said, I think that when you don't have your home country in, it loses a little lust. Now, granted, United States has a lot of different cultures, a lot of different, nationalities,
Yes.
so that will keep it strong. But I don't think you're going to get the American fans that you normally would, personally.
I mean, I know me personally. I'm definitely not going to watch it as much. And I consider myself
Polish.
It's a fact.
So I don't understand why.
That's it, everybody. They always say
End on that.
they say you should end on a joke, right? So I guess that would be
And
perfect.
then a high note. Like George Costanza. See you later.
I actually am going to. It's funny you say that. I'm gonna root for Poland.
You
Even though
gotta.
I'm only a quarter Polish or whatever, but it's just listen. I
Bukowski.
consider
Wait, you're a quarter Polish, so what else are you? Then?
Yeah.
I'm just the mix.
Don't you have the
thing.
do you have is Polish your majority?
Is this what the show is about?
I think it is. His last name's Bukowski.
That doesn't
I
mean
think.
that. Do I have to teach you
That
a
just
little bit of a
carries
lesson?
on.
Yeah,
Oh, it's a Polish last name.
Right.
Yeah, but it
You're
doesn't.
part Yugoslavian, right, or something like
Doesn't exist anymore.
I am not part Yugoslavian,
that? Eastern Bloc.
but listen to me.
I'm
Listen to
listening.
me.
Let me ask you a question.
But listen, I consider myself pretty much the typical
Polish.
American soccer fan. And like it's like I'm interested sometimes. I go through waves. And when they're in it, U.S. is in it. I actually really get into it, and I don't think I'm going to be very into it. I will turn on a game. I don't know if I'll watch a full game during the World Cup.
Look, I agree. I only watch during the World
Being
Cup.
honest.
I only watch during the World Cup, and I watch when USA plays, and I do watch when Italy plays too. But think about when we went to USA games. The bars are packed and everything. That's not going to happen this year.
No.
That's really
Well,
going to
there's
hurt.
a lot of visitors.
Italy might not make the World Cup now
I
too.
know.
By the way,
There's a lot of
so if
visitors.
USA and
That's
Italy doesn't make it,
devastating.
I'm definitely not watching.
I
might
will.
be worse.
I
That'll
will.
definitely be
I don't
worse.
watch for the pure love of the game.
Absolutely not. It's a
just-
boring game.
I love the
I'm
game.
sorry, I never got
I
into
watch
it.
for the pure love of the game.
Well,
International soccer, especially. Yeah, but
International soccer. What international
So
soccer
you watch
do you
Real
watch?
Madrid versus
what are you talking
Manchester
about?
United.
That's what I'm saying.
He likes-
World
yeah,
Cup soccer, like Euro Cup soccer, that stuff, not club soccer. I don't watch that really, but
Oh, all right.
but I'm
so you
saying,
watch the Euro Cup and the World Cup.
And the World Cup.
and I watch like the Gold Cup and
The Gold Cup. What's the Gold Cup?
That's like the South America
CONCACAF.
Cup. Or no, the
Oh.
CONCACAF. That's the North
CONCACAF,
American Cup.
yeah.
So, I mean, but if Italy doesn't make it, or if they do, but if they do make it, I'll tell you right now, I'll take off of every day of work to watch every single game of the World Cup.
I hope
will do
work
that.
is
I've
not
done it
watching.
before.
It
I'll
wasn't
do it
gonna
again.
take
much for that
I've
to
taken
happen
off
anyway.
a month of work.
Well, Chris is not getting fired.
Where are you
'cause-
working? McDonald's?
The World Cup's a month long. Yeah, I took off a month of work, vacation time. McDonald's, that's correct. No, it's not correct. It was something like that, though. Yeah, definitely.
You know, I used to take off. I used to not go to school and not go to work during the NCAA tournament the first 2 days.
Right.
I used to not go to school or I'd take off work for those first 2 days. I love those first 2 days. Not a month though.
No, yeah, I took off a whole month once. Of work.
And you kept your job.
I watched every
What
single
job
game.
gives you a month vacation?
Well,
straight?
I accrued a lot of time. I planned for it, and I took a month off. What do you want me to do?
But straight.
Gotta watch my Italy win the World Cup.
If Poland,
I think they got knocked out of
if
the group
Poland
stage.
makes the final, then I'll take off a couple of weeks.
I still want to know: are they in the World Cup though?
Poland? Yeah, they might be.
I gotta check the group, but I think they're doing
we
well.
still need Mike's nationality breakdown. Like a
He's got a little bit of
we got to have a
Italian
pie
in him.
chart.
Yeah.
That's why I was asking.
It's a
I know
lot
he's
of
got
things.
some
Yeah, we need a PowerPoint presentation with a pie
little
chart.
pie
and all
chart.
that.
The Eastern Bloc, as Donnie says.
I still think a lot of people are gonna watch it though.
I think he's gonna get hurt. You don't think he's gonna get hurt?
It's gonna get hurt
I think
a
he's
little
gonna
bit.
get
but
significantly
There's
hurt.
a lot of foreigners here.
It's true.
So those people, but the average typical American
It's not gonna
guy
watch.
who doesn't care, who
No.
likes other sports
Agreed.
more,
Mhm.
that puts soccer as like I would say 5 or 6 as theirs, which is a lot of Americans put
Yes.
like soccer way after the top 4 sports.
Yeah, I don't
They're
even
not
know.
going to watch it. They're like me. They're going to watch a little bit here and there. It's on TV, but I'm going to probably watch a baseball game
Unless-
over it.
I don't watch.
That's what I was about to say. What else are you gonna?
I
watch,
don't wa-
though?
I'm sorry,
A summer baseball game.
I don't watch one soccer game other than the World Cup. Sorry,
Yeah.
Win.
No, unless you're going to like hang out with friends and there's a reason like, oh, my best friend's team is playing and you go to hang out and watch a game. There's really not a reason for me personally to watch soccer now. I'll watch maybe the semifinal game, the final game because it's exciting and soccer, if you score a goal, it's like the end of the world. So you gotta like wait for that one split second for a goal to
One
happen.
split second. Come
Like
on.
that?
Just
He's
saying.
It
crap-
actually was
crap
one of the
out
most
of
exciting
soccer.
things when we were Nevada Smiths, right? The famous bar.
Shame.
Of, like,
Yeah.
soccer
No, it was
bar.
awesome. It was a
And
good
when
time.
USA scored, it was unbelievable because it was the only sporting event you'll go to where everyone's rooting for the same team. You know what I mean?
Right.
Speaking of
That's what's
Typically.
great about
Listen,
soccer.
Yeah.
Speaking
But
of,
that's not going to happen now because the United States aren't in it.
Yeah, well, that's terrible because North American soccer is horrible.
How they didn't make it is
How
what
they
it
didn't make it is incredible.
Oh, Mike, you
They
got a
should be
point.
much better than everybody.
no, I was just going to say, speaking of like, remember where we were during this? Do you remember where we were Game 7 of the ALCS 2000, great series?
Oh, 2016 ALCS.
2017.
Right?
ALCS.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it's 2017.
Yeah, I remember.
Wynn's wedding.
Wins
Yeah,
running.
yeah. Yeah, we
Unbelievable.
We
We
didn't
begged
watch
him
any
to
of the
put it
game.
on, and he just
Didn't,
said
didn't
no.
put on the game.
There was a TV not being used.
That TV,
I know.
That TV did not have
Unbelievable.
signal.
I could've
that
been
was
wrong.
our
I feel like the
slide
Yankees
show.
needed you guys that night.
I
You weren't
agree.
there.
And they lost. Wow.
I'll tell you what,
That was brutal.
it was actually a blessing in disguise. I
Yeah,
have
for
to
who?
sit.
For you? You say that.
I have to sit through it. You wanted to sit through that misery.
By the way,
Who
there was
says
some,
they
didn't
would've
score a
lost?
run.
there were
says
some
they were
phones
lost?
in your centerpieces.
Oh yeah, they were in the flowers. I was getting updates.
That was
left
me.
and right.
Yeah, I
All
had
right,
some fun in the flowers.
It's
All right.
understandable.
That's a good final point there. I like. I'm glad that was.
it is what
Mike,
it is.
speaking of which, but
Shame.
all right. So no one's gonna watch
Shame.
World Cup. That's okay, except Ventura.
Oh, absolutely.
And
What if
Paul-
Italy's not in? Will you watch it?
Yeah,
And if
absolutely.
Poland makes it,
I'll go for France or something.
but
It's boring.
I like France.
Boring death.
Very similar to Italy.
All right.
Boring.
Well-
No, it's not boring. It's very exciting. I like things where, it's exciting because you never know when the goal's going to come, and that goal means everything.
yeah, but it's also boring. It takes hours for that to happen.
all right.
don't
Then
know.
that's it. And
I
that's it,
disagree.
guys.
I
The World
disagree.
Cup is over.
You didn't have to hit
The World Cup is
Dominic
over.
Rhodes over.
All right, guys.
Gary wrote.
I
Gary
don't know
Rhodes.
who the hell that is.
All right, guys. As always, I'm going to look at this camera. As always, guys, thank you for watching. And remember to tune in next week. Tune in tomorrow. We got Bridgeside Live at 9 p.m. As always, we're going to have a great band performing for you guys. We'll go back to this camera.
cut me.
Great band performing for you. And remember to tune in next week for Bridgeside Sports Live Monday night at 9:30. As always, guys. Thanks very much. Have a good one.
Came in last in trivia. Got one question right.
1 for 5 is not bad.
Elgin Bale.
Todd Frazier.